it's clear to see that with all your fighters, the chemistry, bond, and loyalty is always there, no matter what. And it seems to be your main focus above all. How important do you think that connection is between a trainer and their fighter?
It's the most important thing you can have. You know, it's a reality. Every trainer, whether it's boxing trainer, strength conditioning trainer, is going to be able to get access to the information that you may want to teach, right? Whether it be YouTube, whether it's in a book, or you just talk to a person directly, you can access that information. But the difference between being good and great, I always say, is 9 inches. That's from one side of the head to the other side of the head. That's where the greatness starts and creates and is actually built. So as a trainer, if you don't have the ability to connect with your athlete in that way, they're never going to absorb what you're teaching, and they'll never be able to execute it with extreme confidence. Let me say that again. Extreme confidence. They'll never be able to execute it with extreme confidence unless they totally believe in what you're doing. And the closer the relationship is, as far as respect, integrity, worth ethic, these things, loyalty, these things is what they use to grow and develop in the sport. So without that, it's very hard for a guy and for a team to be great at what they do. They can be good, but great is not what I usually chase, and my athletes either. We don't want to be great. We want to be the greatest, and that's really important. And from a personal standpoint, my goal is to be the first boxing strength conditioning coach put into the Boxing Hall of Fame. It's never been done before. I also want to get Coach of the Year, something that's never been done before. So I'm pursuing things that have never been done before. Why? Because why do I want to do the same things that everybody else has already done? And that's how we look at the sport. My athletes don't want to just be great. They want to be the greatest.
Yeah,
Yeah, your
definitely
passion
the
is
vision for a win.
yeah, your passion is truly inspiring. And with your specialty in the field of strength and conditioning, what is it that you do that really pushes your fighters to their absolute limit, like where you're truly bringing out the best out of them?
Once again, it's so many different things that we do, and everybody's moment is
Hmm.
different, right? So my moment with KSI, opposed to any other boxer, had to happen during camp, where you get a guy right to that breaking point where they're like, shit, I don't know if I can do this. And then you empower them to understand how great they really are. Because when you're building an athlete, the first part of it, it's not going to be easy. The work is going to be hella hard, but you're building them and giving them the callus that they need, the calluses they need on their soul and their spirit to be tough enough to handle what they're going to have to endure the night of the fight, and also physically building them to the point where their bodies can handle what's going to be needed the night of the fight. That is challenging to do, and there's always a point for every boxer where it's just so fatiguing physically and mentally, where they're like, man, I don't know, right? At that moment, that's when they're ready to go to the other side of that coin to greatness. And now you start to empower them and help them see how great they really are and how far they've really come. So it always changes per fighter, but there's always a breaking point. There's always a moment where each fighter and I connect in a way that we realize, oh, things aren't the same anymore, and they never will be. You know, my athletes love me and believe in me, and I love and believe in them, and I commit 100% to what I do. So once I'm finished, I go home, I'm studying, I'm researching, I'm thinking about them and how I can make them better as an individual, opposed to just a general boxing, because everybody's style is different, everybody's body type is different, everybody's upbringing is different. So you have to approach each person in a totally individual, tailored way to fit them. So it's very, very important.
And with boxing probably being one of the most physically demanding sports, of course, being a contact sport in a one-on-one environment, and can really take a mental and physical toll on a fighter's body. What is it that you do to make sure that your fighters are always physically ready as well as injury free as possible heading into a big fight?
Well, one of the things that I do, as we all understand, hard work has to happen, right?
Yeah.
That's really big. The one thing so underrated, and I say it again, underrated, is rest. In the sport of boxing, these guys can work 6, 7 days a week. And they think a lot of times they may think the more work you do, the better shape you're in. But it's not true. You also have to allow your body to recover and repair. So that rest is really big. So I think one of the biggest differences that I bring is I include rest as part of the workout. Because even if someone is sitting at home for a boxer, somebody could be tormenting because they want to work. So sometimes sitting home is harder than actually going to train.
Yeah, because they feel like they're not doing enough.
Not doing enough, somebody's getting better. Well, rest is a large part of the building process. So that would be the main thing is I make sure rest is an intricate part of the development.
Yeah, and it's pretty universally known that fighting can actually be just as much mental, if not more mental than physical, especially getting in a ring and on a big stage. What is it that you do to help prepare your fighters for the big occasion, and how important do you think like the real mentality comes into play in a fight?
Well, a big situation, right,
Mhm.
is just a bunch of small situations added up to one, right?
Mhm.
When you put a little fight, right? Let's say you get in a small fight, you got one fighter across from you, official, you got a ring judge, fight starts. If you got a major fight, you got one fighter across the way, official, a ring judge. The concept is the exact same. Nothing changed. The thing is what are you going to do to focus on the job at hand opposed to all the nonsense that may be going on around you? And that's where we stay focused and we keep our circle small because at the end of the day, fighting in front of 10,000 people and fighting in front of 20,000 people, there's still one fighter standing across from you. There's still one official in the ring, and there's still ring judges the same. So you have to just stay focused on the task at hand. We make sure you stay focused on the task at hand, and we go from there.
Yeah,